Because they're dirty.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready when you are.
All right, bring yourself in. 3. I'm going down fast. 3, 2, 1.
And we are back here on the stoop. It is our favorite time of the show. It's your favorite time of the show. It's everybody's favorite time of the show. And that is tea time with Chef Verde. I'm about to go thrifting, and I'm going to make it a whole thing. I'm going to get me a little teapot and a little teacup, and ting, ting, ting. Yeah, we're doing all of that soon.
Okay. Wonderful.
All right, so
I'm here for it all.
You know, it's been, I don't know, I feel like it was months ago that I told you that every time I put on a pair of socks, my favorite socks that I had holes in them, I still have been. For the past week, I've been fighting for my life over socks. Yes, socks. And not just any socks. We're talking about my favorite socks. The ones that fit just right, the ones that hit your ankle perfectly, the ones that been through seasons with you, through moods, through early mornings when you barely have your eyes open, but you know where those socks are. If you're anything like me, I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and it's still dark outside. So trying to find socks that match ain't it. Or at least you think you know where your socks are. Because lately, every time I reach for a pair, I put them on and boom, there's a hole in the heel. And not just a cute hole either. I'm talking about disrespectful. Like, why are you even still in rotation type of holes? And every time that happened, I'd get frustrated. Like, damn, not these two. Because in my mind, those are still my favorites. But in reality, they've already expired. And here's the part that got me. I've known for months that I needed new socks. But instead of replacing them, I kept holding on. I kept rotating the same worn out pairs, kept hoping I'd grab a good one, kept being disappointed over and over. Does that sound familiar? Because let's be real, this isn't just about my socks. This is about the things in our lives that we know don't deserve us anymore, but we keep reaching for it anyway. And this past week, I finally did it. I threw away like 7 pairs of my favorite socks, y'all. And it hurt. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I stood there looking in the trash can like, dang, we had some good times together. But when something has been with you for years, when it's familiar, when it's comfortable, even when it's worn out, it's hard to let go. But here's the truth that hit me. They were no longer useful to me. Not because they weren't once good, not because they didn't serve a purpose at one point, but because where I am now, they can't support me the way I need to. And that's the part we struggle with. We confuse history with function. Just because something used to be good for you doesn't mean it still is. Some of us are holding on to old habits, old mindsets, old relationships, and old versions of ourselves. And we keep going back to them expecting a different experience. But every time we put them on, there's a hole. Something feels off, something isn't supporting you, something is exposing you. So instead of letting go, we get frustrated and then we try again tomorrow. Same socks, different day. Now here's where it gets deeper. I didn't replace my socks before throwing them away. I did not replace my socks before throwing them away. And that's where fear usually creeps in for us, because we think, if I let this go, what am I going to have? Like, am I going to be left with no socks? Like, if I leave this situation, what's next? If I stop doing this, who am I going to be? So we hold on to the worn out things because at least it's something, right? Even if it's not working, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's literally falling apart. But let me tell you what I realized. You can't make room for new socks if your drawer is full with old ones. There's no space, no capacity, no invitation for better. And some of us are praying for new opportunities, new blessings, new peace, and new alignment. But our drawer is overcrowded with things that should have been thrown away seasons ago. And I get it. Letting go is uncomfortable. It feels like a loss. It feels like change. It feels like stepping into the unknown. But holding on also comes with a cost. The cost of frustration, the cost of stagnation, the cost of constantly feeling like something isn't right, and that's because it isn't. So this week, as simple as it sounds, throwing away the socks was a moment for me. It was a reminder that I deserve things that fully support me. I don't have to hold on to something just because I once loved it. And making space is just as important as receiving. So let's talk about the upgrade real quick. Because when you finally go and get those new socks, which I haven't yet, it's a completely different experience. They're soft, they're snug, it's no holes, it's no surprises. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. And you're like, wait, this is what I've been missing all this time? This is how it feels when you start letting go of what no longer fits. You realize how much you were tolerating. So here's my question to you, everyone, during this tea time. What are your holy socks? What are you holding on to that's no longer supporting you, that frustrates you every time you engage with it, or that you already know needs to go? And be honest with yourself, because awareness is step one. And step two, you have to be... Step two is, where am I at? Yeah. You got to be willing to let it go, even if it's your favorite, even if it's familiar, even if it feels like you're losing something, because you're not losing, you're making room. And this doesn't have to be some big dramatic change. You don't have to flip your whole world upside down overnight. Start small like I did. One pair at a time, one habit at a time, one mindset, and one decision at a time. And before you know it, your whole drawer looks different. So today I want you to do something intentional. Go home and look at your drawer, literally and figuratively, and ask yourself what needs to go. And then be bold enough to actually throw it away. Not because it was never good, but because it's no longer good for you. And that is my tea time today. Throw away them socks, y'all. It's perfect timing. It's officially spring. And we all always fuss about, I'm spring cleaning, cleaning. And we're only cleaning our houses or our cars or, our kitchens, or we need to clean our lives too. Yeah. We need to clean up some things.
That's interesting. I did I don't know if this is along the ways, but we were talking about this earlier actually with another podcast. Sometimes how you nest, like when you're getting ready to have a baby, sometimes you start nesting and you cleaning up your house. Well, as I have aged, I've done the same. It's almost like the same thing. You want to start preparing room for the next phase. Yeah. And I sold and got rid of everything. Yeah. Furniture, husbands, friends.
And I didn't realize at the time that it was happening, but I feel like throwing my socks away was the icing on the cake, because it's not like I went through and was like, let me grab all the socks that have holes. If I put it on and I realized it had a hole, it was uncomfortable, my heel was cold, I'm like, damn, I hate to throw these away. Yeah. I love y'all, but you gotta go. You gotta go. And now my drawer is half empty and I can get some new socks and feel good about it.
But then, like you said before, symbolically, if you throw them away without replacing it, there's that lull, there's that space, and it's like, so when I was in that space, I filled it up with myself. I've been having a ball. I just, if I look at something I don't like it, I'll paint it. Yeah. I'll change it. I'll get something. I'll whatever,
But you have the space to do that now. You can recognize where something needs to be filled. Yes. And you can do that without having to, crowd. Right. You're not crowding. You get new socks. You put them on top. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But
we're excited.
I gotta hurry and get it out. So, but it's almost like, how you've been in those spaces through different times in your life. We've thrown away lots of holy socks in our lives. And sometimes we go and run out and just buy something quick.
Yeah, because we need it.
We need it, and we think it's going to satisfy us the way the old socks did.
And them socks don't fit either.
They don't fit either.
They don't even come all the way up on your foot.
They slide
They're kid socks.
Right? So you realize, wow, I jumped too quick. Okay? So this time, I didn't buy any new socks. You know what I'm saying? I just got the needle and thread and darned the sock I had left. I may have thrown away some things, but it really does. That's very symbolic of how we live our lives. And it's such a refresher when you learn from the last time you threw away your socks. Yeah. And now it's just, I am so me Now, nobody want to play with me no more. I just, because I like me. I like where I am, even though I had to throw away a lot of socks.
Yeah.
I love it.
My grandmother used to get me socks every year for Christmas because by February my socks wouldn't match anymore. And instead of me throwing away the socks that I didn't, that don't have the matches or that had the holes, I would just put the new socks on top of the missing, mismatched socks. And then those socks would end up missing too. So I feel like they were somewhere together in the dryer.
Right.
But I feel like cleaning out your sock drawer or throwing away the old socks and doing without for a second really helps you figure out what kind of socks you want.
Yeah.
What do I want? Ankle socks? Do I like thick socks? I'm learning what kind of socks I like.
Isn't it lovely?
It's a beautiful learning experience.
Yes. And it applies to every area of your life.
And honestly, a lot of the socks I threw away were previous people's socks.
Oh.
My person at the time, I'm a sock thief, you know what I mean? So I honestly don't know the last time I actually purchased socks for me.
Because you start stealing them.
Because I was stealing people's socks. Now I'm walking around with their spirits on my feet, and I don't like that. They are gone. In the garbage.
That's really cool. I like that too.
Thank you.
Very, very nice.